G'day guys, this is the brand new chainless TH205. It's the new Extreme Duty machine, and we'll take you through a few of the differences that we've made on the latest generation compared to the previous one. So starting at the tractor end, you'll notice only 2 sets of hydraulics required. We've got our nice big hand grips which make connecting to the tractor nice and easy. They're marked for plus and minus, so you can connect them up the same way around every time. We have a new drawbar. It's 50% stronger than the old drawbar we had on this machine, and it's also much stronger than any triangle shaped dual beam drawbar system. Not only that, it allows you to turn a lot tighter, so you can manoeuvre through gateways and tight patches on your farm a lot easier with a single post drawbar. We've got the proven string box, which you can store all your string, your net wrap and your shrink wrap in the bin there. Save cluttering up your cab and making a stinky mess inside your cab. You can position the boom at the right height to the size of your bale, whether it's 1800 6 foot, 1600 5 foot or 1200 4 foot. You got 2 indicators here, so round bales and square bales. So simply lift the platform to square bales position or round depending on what you've got on the cradle. Then start turning your rotors and it'll feed out a breeze. Super easy. You'll notice we've got our new ribbed puckboard floor. First time we've been able to get a ribbed puckboard. This is an ultra high density polyethylene, same as they use in the hockey rinks. We are so confident in this product that it's now got a 10-year warranty on it. We've been using it in our RX range now for about 5 years plus, and it's extremely durable. We won't see any breakages or cracking in that. We now have this adjustment point down here. So there's 2 positions. This is in the low position, and then there's a high position in here. So if you have those ultra high density square bales coming out of the latest model square balers, lift it to this up position, and that will make it much easier to feed out those high density bales. For every other bale that you're going to feed, leave it in the low position and it's straightforward. The whole chassis has been beefed up, so you'll notice bigger plates, same around the back here, bigger plates throughout all the chassis. The axle mounts, those stubs are removable, so if you ever need to replace them or make it wider track or narrower track, you can do so with our removable axles. You won't find any other loading system like our patented total control loading system. It stabs the bale so that the bale's not falling off on uneven terrain or smashing into your cradle. But we use 1 hydraulic cylinder. It's a proven system, and the reason we do that is because there's very little to go wrong and it works every time with no adjustments. Loading system's been beefed up from start to finish. A bigger ram, bigger pivot pins, stronger time frame which connects into the boom more robustly. But the kicker is we've taken some learnings out of the construction industry, and all our pivots now are beefed up to induction hardened pins with steel induction hardened bushings. So it's exactly the same as you find in the excavator, which means this back end will never flog out. All it needs is a little bit of grease and she will last forever. Coming around this side of the machine here, you've got the bigger wheels, mudguards. They're optional in some markets, standard in New Zealand. So we've gone to a bigger flotation tyre, more cushioning as you're rumbling across the paddock with bigger bales, and just gives the machine a nice float across the field. The machine comes standard now with the side chute, so that's got 5 positions. So if you want to have it straight down so it's nice and narrow for gateways, or you can shift it all the way out like this, so if you want to feed into a trough you can kick it well outside of the wheel track. And even in wet puggy conditions you can kick it well outside of the wheel track of your machine and the tractor, so your feed isn't in the moisture. You'll notice it's got the quick release latching system here, so simply 2 latches, gentle push down there and it releases the wiper panel, so you can easily clean out any build-up of material in your wiper. And just a quick flick back there, latch those latches and you're good to feed out again. So this top rotor here is spinning 3 times the speed of the bottom rotor. So what that does is it stretches the hay apart, making it much more natural, like the windrow before the bale was baled. So it's much more natural for the cattle to eat, and it ends up in less wastage. Not only that, it's ultra quiet, you can't even hear these rotors moving. And if you've got really tight round bales that'll just go round and round and round in a normal cradle chain type feeder, chainless will chew those things to bits. You can put them on in either direction, and I'll tell you a secret. So when you've got a really loose fluffy bale, lift the platform up so you've got more weight on the top rotors, and that way it'll pull apart the bale faster. If you have a very tight bale that's struggling to feed out, lower the platform a little bit so that it's got equal pressure on the top and the bottom rotor, and that'll just pull apart that tight bale into a beautiful windrow in no time. If you get any binding up in the wiper here, simply lift the platform a bit higher. It'll clear that binding up and just put it into the beautiful windrow, and away you go. Maintaining your Hustler chainless TH205 is super easy. You got 1 grease circ on the front, you got 2 grease circs on the platform cylinder, you've got 7 on the loading system. Around here, under the cover, that's your entire drive system. Extremely simple, just 2 chains. Don't even need to touch those. But there's 2 bearing grease nipples and 1 on the platform. And same with the front, there's 2 on the bearings and 1 on the platform, so 6 in this area. The only thing you really need to worry about, keeping those grease nipples greased. There's no wearing parts, no flails, no PTO shafts, no shear pins that you even need to worry about. Probably the only other thing, if you ever get around to it, is just check the pressure on your tyre. It's that easy. So that's the chainless TH205. Nice and easy to use. It'll feed every single bale you can lay your hands on. We've put more than 110 different types of bales through this machine when we were developing it, and it'll feed every single one. So it'll feed everything. It's ultra low maintenance with its chainless design. The self-loading is proven and extremely durable. You'd struggle to break that thing now, and it's just a great machine. Guys on the market who've had these machines, they call it the Rolls Royce, because there is simply nothing else that competes with this machine. So grab one on demo. They're a great machine. You'll love the demo. See for yourself and have a play with it.